Do you think, as a member of the Public Hospital Board, you can address yourself to this question, and that is...
One moment of routine, one moment of pressure. That's all it took. Across decades of broadcast history, a handful of tragedies didn't just happen, they unfolded live, with millions watching helplessly as seconds turned fatal. Tonight, we revisit the 8 worst deaths ever captured on live television. Moments that changed broadcasting forever. Incident number 1. Christine Chubbuck, 1974. It was July 15, 1974, just after 9 a.m. in Sarasota, Florida. Viewers of WXLT-TV expected their usual morning segment local news, community updates, and the quiet confidence of 29-year-old reporter Christine Chubbuck, known for her calm delivery and sharp intelligence. That morning she arrived early, rehearsed carefully, and even joked with colleagues. But her co-workers would later say her smile didn't quite reach her eyes. Inside the studio, the fluorescent lights buzzed. Cameras warmed. The teleprompter glowed softly. Everything looked normal, almost peaceful. But the first warning sign came minutes before airtime. Christine requested a script change. Not unusual by itself, but her insistence on manually controlling the teleprompter speed was. At 9:06 a.m., the show went live. Footage shows her sitting upright, posture perfect, voice steady. She reads the news: a shooting, a council update, a story she researched the night before. Viewers at home sip coffee. Nothing seems out of place. What they didn't realize was that Christine had slipped a final script into the stack, one no one else had seen. Step by step, the broadcast shifts. She pauses, looks directly into the camera, then delivers a line that would echo through media history. In keeping with Channel 40's policy of bringing you the latest in blood and guts, producers freeze. In the control room, someone shouts for camera 2 to cut away, but they're seconds too late. Christine draws a revolver. A single shot, the camera tilts in confusion. Technicians rush onto the set as the live feed abruptly cuts to black. Viewers hear a brief scramble before WXLT switches to a film reel. Paramedics arrive within minutes, performing emergency stabilization before rushing her to Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Despite rapid intervention, Christine succumbs to her injury 14 hours later, pronounced dead early the next morning. The medical finding was clear: a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. The investigation focused not on criminality, there was none, but on workplace awareness, mental health visibility, and newsroom protocols. In the aftermath, stations across the U.S. rewrote live broadcast emergency cut procedures. Some banned firearms on premises entirely. Others introduced mandatory mental health policies. Christine's death remains the only on-air suicide broadcast live in American television history, and a grim reminder that even polished professionalism can hide unbearable weight. But the next death happened in a packed room full of reporters, and dozens of cameras rolled as disaster struck. Incident number 2. Bud Dwire, 1987. It was January 22nd, 1987 in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, a cold gray Thursday with reporters crowding the state capitol building. Pennsylvania Treasurer Bud Dwire, facing sentencing for a bribery conviction he insisted he hadn't committed, called an unexpected press conference. Rumors circulated it would be his resignation. Inside the press room, lights burned hot. Microphones cluttered a wooden podium. Camera operators adjusted focus as Dwire walked in, holding a manila envelope, another folder, and a small paper bag. He looked exhausted, hollow-eyed. Even before he spoke, some reporters sensed something was off. He begins reading a prepared statement, long, emotional, pleading his innocence. Viewers watching on regional stations see a man under crushing pressure. Footage shows him trembling slightly, voice cracking. A producer whispers, "Cut soon, we're running long." Then something shifts. He opens the envelope, pulls out a revolver. What they didn't realize, the investigators later said, was that Dwire had planned every step. The next seconds unfold in a sickening sequence. Step 1. Reporters shout for him to stop. Step 2. He waves them back, saying, "Don't. This could hurt someone." Step 3. A few try to lunge forward. Step 4. The gun rises. Step 5. The camera holds the frame. Step 6. A single gunshot cuts through the room. Step 7. Chaos erupts. Several stations broadcasting live cut away mid-frame. Others, unaware of the timing, aired it unedited during later news cycles. Millions would hear about the footage even if they didn't see it. Emergency responders declared Dwire dead at the scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The investigation confirms the weapon was legally owned. No foul play. In the aftermath, national conversation erupts. Should press conferences be broadcast unfiltered? Should stations delay all live events by several seconds? Many networks soon implement new instant cut rules protocols still used today. Dwire's death remains one of the most infamous tragedies ever captured in a government setting. And yet, another live audience, tens of thousands in an arena, would witness the next fatal moment, even if cameras didn't show the impact. Incident number 3. Owen Hart, 1999. It was May 23, 1999 in Kansas City, Missouri, inside the Kemper Arena. The WWF pay-per-view event, Over the Edge, was airing live. Wrestler Owen Hart, performing as his comedic superhero persona, the Blue Blazer, prepared for a dramatic entrance, descending from the rafters on a harness. The stunt had worked before, the crew had rehearsed, but something felt off. One technician later said Hart looked unusually tense as he checked the release mechanism. The arena lights dim, pyro pops. Commentators cue the segment. Footage shows the camera cutting to a pre-taped vignette, a standard technique. But during that moment, high above the ring, Hart's harness fails. A quick release clip meant to be triggered manually disengages prematurely. What no one realized until too late was that the mechanism was never designed for live stunts of this weight. In seconds, everything unravels. Step 1, Hart begins descent. Step 2, the clip disengages. Step 3, crew members shout from the catwalk. Step 4, Hart drops from a height of over 70 feet. Step 5, he hits the ring chest first. Step 6, the crowd gasps, broadcasters fall silent. Step 7, the camera immediately cuts away to the crowd. Step 8, announcers confirm this is not part of the show. Paramedics rush into the ring. CPR begins instantly. Within minutes, Hart is transported to Truman Medical Center. At 8:12 p.m., doctors pronounce him dead from blunt force trauma to the chest. The official investigation reveals equipment failure, improper safety gear, avoidable mechanical risk. The aftermath is enormous lawsuits, regulatory reevaluation, and permanent cancellation of similar stunts in American wrestling. Fans watching live would later describe the moment as the instant the entertainment world changed forever. But the next tragedy wasn't scripted, rehearsed, or part of any performance. It happened at impossible speed on a track broadcast worldwide. Incident number 4. Dan Wheldon crash, 2011. October 16, 2011, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. A bright, dry afternoon, perfect for the IndyCar World Championship. Over a dozen onboard cameras streamed the race live across multiple networks. British driver Dan Wheldon, already a two-time Indianapolis 500 champion, was running a special drive from the back promotion. He wanted a win. He wanted another title. What he didn't know was how unstable the pack formation had become. From the opening laps, footage shows cars bunching tightly at extreme speeds, well over 220 km/h. Analysts comment on the risk. One warns, someone's going to get airborne. That was the foreshadow. At lap 11 it happens. A car toward the middle clips another. Two cars spin ahead of Wheldon. He has nowhere to go. His car hits one vehicle, then ramps upward. The chassis lifts into the catch fence. Viewers see a fireball erupt on the live feed. Debris showers the track. Commentators fall silent. Officials red flag the race. Emergency teams swarm the wreckage. Paramedics spend minutes stabilizing Wheldon before airlifting him to University Medical Center. Despite every intervention, he is pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The cause, blunt force trauma from impact with the fence structure. In the aftermath, IndyCar revises track selection, pack race protocols, and cockpit safety. Wheldon's death becomes a turning point in modern motor racing, a moment the world watched in disbelief as the sport's darkest fear unfolded in real time. But the next live broadcast tragedy didn't happen in a stadium. It happened at an air show in front of families, children, and national television cameras. Incident number 5. Siniliv Airshow disaster, 2002. It was July 27, 2002, in Lviv, Ukraine, a warm, clear day, perfect for the annual air parade. Thousands gathered at Siniliv Airfield, and multiple broadcasters carried the show live. The highlight, a Ukrainian Air Force Su-27 performing advanced aerobatics. Pilots Volodymyr Topinar and Yuri Yegorov were experienced, confident, and trained for demonstration flights. But that day, the flight path charts had changed, runways repositioned, crowd zones shifted. Later investigations would show a deadly miscommunication. Footage shows the Su-27 beginning a high-angle maneuver. Cheers rise. Children sit on their parents' shoulders. A cameraman pans to catch the jet's roll. Then the foreshadow, a sudden drop in altitude. What they didn't realize was that the aircraft's turn radius had tightened too much for the available space. The fatal sequence unfolds in under 10 seconds. Step 1, the jet rolls left. Step 2, altitude drops sharply. Step 3, the right wing clips a tree. Step 4, the fuselage yaws uncontrollably. Step 5, the pilot's eject footage captures the twin parachutes deploying. Step 6, the jet slams into the crowd. Step 7, a fireball engulfs spectators. Step 8, debris scatters across the runway. Step 9, screams fill the broadcast audio before the network cuts. Emergency crews rush in, but the devastation is overwhelming. 77 people die, including children. Over 500 are injured. The investigation finds pilot error compounded by poor event planning. Airshow's worldwide tighten safety rules, expanding exclusion zones and banning certain aerobatic maneuvers over crowds. But sometimes the camera doesn't show chaos from afar. Sometimes it captures a target up close. Incident number 6. Allison Parker and Adam Ward, 2015. It was August 26, 2015, just after 6:45 a.m. in Moneta, Virginia. WDBJ7's morning show was broadcasting a live interview from the Bridgewater Plaza boardwalk. Reporter Allison Parker, 24, and cameraman Adam Ward, 27, were covering a local tourism story. The sun was rising. Water was calm. Footage shows laughter between Allison and the interviewee. But behind them, just out of frame, a former station employee approached. A man with a grievance, a fixation, and a handgun. A small shadow crosses the camera lens, the foreshadow no one recognized in the moment. What they didn't realize was that the attacker was recording too, capturing his own video of the ambush. The steps unfold chillingly. Step 1, he raises the weapon. Step 2, the live microphone catches the first shots. Step 3, Allison turns, startled, attempting to flee. Step 4, Adam shifts the camera, but the feed judders violently. Step 5, the station cuts back to the anchor, confused. Step 6, viewers hear the anchor gasp. I'm not sure what just happened. Step 7, emergency calls begin immediately. Step 8, deputies and EMS race to the scene. Allison, Parker, and Adam Ward die from their wounds. The shooter flees and later dies by suicide following a police pursuit. The investigation reveals a long pattern of grievances and documented workplace instability. Aftermath ripples across the country, renewed debate on gun violence, newsroom security, and live broadcast risk. Many stations begin limiting outdoor live shots to safer, more controlled environments. But not every tragedy results from violence. Some come from the simple, brutal physics of motion, and millions watch the collapse unfold live. Incident number 7. Gopinath Munda, 2014. It was June 3, 2014 in New Delhi, India. BJP leader Gopinath Munda, recently appointed as India's Minister of Rural Development, was headed to a television interview. News crews followed him closely that morning. It was a major week for the new administration. Traffic was heavy, rain clouds hung low, live broadcast vans trailed his convoy. At a major intersection, CCTV and broadcast crews simultaneously capture the moment. Another vehicle jumps the lane, striking Munda's car from the side. It's a jolt not spectacular on camera, but violent enough. Munda exits the vehicle looking shaken. Witnesses report he clutched his chest. This is the foreshadow, subtle, almost ordinary. What they didn't realize was that he had sustained severe internal trauma. The steps unfold quickly. Step 1, aides help him into another vehicle. Step 2, cameras record him struggling to sit upright. Step 3, they rush toward AIM's hospital. Step 4, live news updates begin rolling. Step 5, doctors initiate emergency treatment. Step 6, cardiac arrest occurs. Step 7, attempts at resuscitation fail. Within the hour, journalists outside the hospital receive confirmation. Gopinath Munda has died. The official cause is listed as shock and internal injuries resulting from the collision. The aftermath includes national mourning and a renewed push for seatbelt enforcement, a detail investigators emphasize heavily. Broadcasters replay the moments before the crash for days as part of official coverage. One last tragedy remains a live broadcast climbing expedition that became one of Japan's most haunting televised moments. Sitting in at number 8. Kazuhisa Uchida, Asahi TV climbing broadcast, 1969. It was August 1969, high in the Japanese Alps, during a live broadcast by Asahi Television. The network had pioneered a new concept, real-time coverage of mountaineering expeditions. Viewers could watch climbers ascend dangerous routes as commentators described conditions. One climber, Kazuhisa Uchida, was part of a seasoned team attempting a difficult face under unstable weather. Footage shows wind whipping against the ridgeline and clouds gathering earlier than predicted. The first warning sign appears when Uchida pauses at a narrow traverse, adjusting his footing more than usual. The camera zooms slightly, trying to keep him framed as the rope line shakes. What they didn't realize was that a sudden gust common in that region had loosened snow and rock above the climbers. The fatal sequence is brief. Step 1, a cracking sound echoes across the ridge. Step 2, small debris begins falling. Step 3, Uchida attempts to anchor. Step 4, the slope gives way beneath him. Step 5, the camera jolts as the rope snaps taut. Step 6, a second slide pulls him completely free. Step 7, the broadcast cuts to a wide shot as commentators shout. Step 8, support climbers rush toward the fall zone. Step 9, rescue teams mobilize, but terrain prevents timely access. Hours later, Uchida is confirmed dead. Official findings cite a sudden landslide triggered by shifting alpine conditions. The broadcast becomes one of Japan's most discussed tragedies, prompting networks to impose stricter safety rules on televised expeditions. 8 lives. 8 moments when routine turned catastrophic, all captured, in some form, by a camera that never expected to witness death. These tragedies reshaped policies, rewrote safety standards, and reminded broadcasters that no story, no stunt, no live shot is worth a human life. Because when the signal cuts, when the frame freezes, when viewers hear that stunned silence, it's already too late. Stay safe, stay aware. And if you want to understand how split-second decisions change everything, watch the next video in this series.